Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into the world of ultra-fast AI.
Specific.
Yeah, specifically a new photonic chip that's got everyone talking.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bunch of research papers, news articles, and even some YouTube videos
Whoa.
that you wanted us to unpack.
Okay.
So are you ready to explore how this tech actually works?
Let's do it.
And why it just might revolutionize everything from astronomy to, like, self-driving cars.
Yeah, what's really captivating here is that we're talking about using light, actual photons, to do the kind of number crunching that powers AI.
Right.
And it's not just a theoretical concept anymore either.
Yeah.
This MIT team has actually built a fully integrated photonic processor.
I know our listeners are pretty familiar with, like, the idea that AI is getting increasingly complex, models with millions, even billions of parameters.
Yeah.
But what's the real bottleneck with using our current electronics for all this?
So it really boils down to the physical limitations of electrons
Okay.
moving through traditional circuits.
Right.
They generate heat, encounter resistance,
Yeah.
and ultimately they're just too slow for the demands of these massive AI models.
Yeah.
We're reaching a point where the energy consumption and the processing time become just totally impractical.
Okay, so it's like trying to run a marathon with a horse and cart when what we need is like a Formula One race car.
Yeah,
And that's where photonics comes in, right?
precisely. Light travels at the speed of light, and photons don't face the same limitations as electrons.
Okay.
They don't generate as much heat.
Okay.
And they can move through optical waveguides with minimal loss of energy.
Yeah.
So this opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for faster and more efficient computation.
Okay, I'm seeing the potential here.
Yeah.
But, like, earlier photonic devices, they could handle simple math, linear operations.
Right.
But struggled with the more complex stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The nonlinear operations that are essential for AI to actually learn and make decisions.
That's right. Those nonlinear operations. Think like activation functions in a neural network were a major stumbling block for photonic computing. Previous attempts often required a hybrid approach, combining photonics with traditional electronics to handle those tricky calculations. And that basically negated the speed advantage we're talking about.
But this MIT team, they figured out a way to integrate both linear and nonlinear operations onto a single photonic chip.
That's the breakthrough here.
Wow.
They've developed these innovative components called NOFUs,
NOFU.
nonlinear optical function units.
Okay.
Think of them as specialized circuits that cleverly blend electronics and photonics to perform those nonlinear operations directly on the chip
Right.
without needing to rely on clunky external electronics.
So no more bouncing back and forth between light and electricity.
Exactly.
Everything happens on this one chip.
It's a remarkable feat of engineering,
Wow.
and the results they've achieved are pretty astounding.
Yeah.
This chip, dubbed the Tai Chi Chip, can complete complex computations in under half a nanosecond?
Hang on, we're talking femtoseconds here. Okay?
You got it.
Isn't that 1,000 times faster than the nanosecond speeds we're used to with electronics?
You are absolutely right.
Wow.
It's like comparing the blink of an eye to the time it takes for geological processes to shape mountains.
That's insane.
And it's not just about speed either.
Right.
This chip has also demonstrated remarkable accuracy,
Okay.
achieving over 92% in image classification tasks using a data set of handwritten characters from 50 different alphabets.
Wow, so not just a speed demon, but accurate too.
Yeah.
Now, one figure that really jumped out from the material you provided was the claim that this Tai Chi chip is over 1,000 times more efficient
Wow.
than the latest NVIDIA H100 GPUs.
That's right.
That's not just an incremental improvement.
Right.
That's practically rewriting the rules of the game, isn't it?
It's a paradigm shift. Imagine the implications for data centers, for scientific research, for any field that relies on heavy-duty computation.
Right.
Suddenly, the energy demands, the heat dissipation problems, the sheer physical space needed for powerful computing, those could all be dramatically reduced.
It's like we're talking about a whole new era of green computing powered by light.
Yeah.
But before we get carried away, let's dive into the specifics of what this chip can actually do.
Well, this specific chip that they've designed and tested has 14 million parameters,
Okay.
which allows it to handle fairly complex AI tasks.
14 million parameters.
Yes.
How does that stack up against some of the massive AI models we hear about today?
To be clear, some of the leading large language models are working with hundreds of zillions of parameters.
Right.
So in that sense, this chip is still relatively small scale.
Right, so it's not going to replace those behemoths just yet,
Right.
but it does show the potential, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're seeing the first steps towards photonic chips handling increasingly complex AI workloads.
Exactly. It's a clear indication that this technology is maturing rapidly.
Okay.
And the applications go far beyond just number crunching.
Yeah.
One research paper highlighted how this chip was used for creative tasks,
Really?
like composing music in the style of Bach
Why
and
not?
generating landscapes reminiscent of Van Gogh and Munch.
Hold on. This chip was used to create art.
It is pretty amazing.
I thought we were talking about AI calculations, not like artistic inspiration.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It suggests that this technology could blur the lines between science and art, between logic and creativity. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for how we use AI.
That is pretty mind-blowing. But let's shift gears a bit.
Yeah.
We've established that this chip is fast, efficient, and even has a creative side.
Mm-hmm.
But what about its real-world applications?
Right.
Is this something we'll be seeing in our smartphones and laptops anytime soon?
Well, there are still some hurdles to overcome.
Okay.
While the chip itself is relatively compact, the entire system, including the laser source and other optical components, can be quite bulky.
Right, so it's not exactly pocket-sized technology just yet.
Not yet. And that bulkiness makes it challenging to integrate with existing electronics.
Yeah.
The world runs on electronics, and we need to find ways to bridge the gap between these two worlds.
So it's a matter of miniaturization
Yeah,
and seamless integration with our existing tech infrastructure.
precisely. And researchers are actively working on those challenges.
Okay.
There's a lot of exciting research in areas like silicon photonics, which aims to integrate optical components onto silicon chips, similar to how our current electronics are made.
So it's not a question of if, but when we'll see more compact and integrated photonic devices.
It seems that way. And as manufacturing processes improve, the costs will come down,
Right.
making this technology more accessible for a wider range of applications.
Okay, that's promising. But even with those hurdles, the potential applications seem almost limitless.
They really do.
The source material you provided mentioned fields like lidar, astronomy, even particle physics.
Yeah,
Can you give us a glimpse into how this technology could revolutionize these areas?
absolutely. Let's start with lidar, which uses light to map its surroundings
Right.
with a photonic chip processing that data in real time. We could see a huge leap in the capabilities of self-driving cars,
Right.
drones, and other autonomous systems.
So faster processing means quicker reactions,
Yes.
more precise navigation, and ultimately safer autonomous vehicles.
Exactly. And then there's astronomy, where researchers are constantly grappling with massive data sets from telescopes.
Right.
A photonic chip could analyze those data sets in a fraction of the time it takes today,
Wow.
allowing us to make new discoveries about distant galaxies and the early universe.
It's like giving astronomers a super-powered telescope that can see further and clearer than ever before.
And in particle physics, where experiments generate colossal amounts of data from particle collisions, a photonic chip could analyze those interactions in real time,
Yeah.
potentially leading to new insights into the fundamental building blocks of the universe.
It's incredible to think about how this technology could accelerate the pace of scientific discovery across so many different fields.
It really is. It's like we're giving scientists a new superpower.
And speaking of superpowers, there's one more area I want to touch on before we move on.
Okay.
High-speed telecommunications.
Yeah.
Imagine data traveling at the speed of light, A&D being processed just as quickly.
Right.
It's almost impossible to grasp the implications of that.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? We're talking about a world with virtually no latency, where information can be shared and processed instantaneously across vast distances.
It's like we're breaking free from the limitations of physics as we know them.
Yeah.
It's a world where global communication becomes truly seamless, and the possibilities for collaboration, innovation, and knowledge sharing are endless.
It's a tantalizing glimpse into the future. But before we get too carried away,
Right.
let's bring it back to the present and delve into some of the other real-world applications that are closer on the horizon. One area where this technology could have a truly transformative impact is scientific research.
Okay.
Think about fields like bioengineering,
Right.
where researchers are trying to understand incredibly complex systems like the human brain.
Right, we're talking about simulating how billions of neurons interact,
Exactly.
how different regions of the brain communicate,
Yeah.
how memories are formed and retrieved. It's a monumental task,
Yeah.
even for our most powerful computers today.
Exactly. But with photonic computing,
Mm-hmm.
we could potentially simulate those processes at a level of detail
Yeah.
and speed that was previously unimaginable.
Right.
It could be like having a virtual brain, allowing researchers to test hypotheses,
Wow.
explore new treatments for neurological disorders, and even gain a deeper understanding of consciousness itself.
It's almost like we're talking about unlocking the secrets of the human mind. But it's not just about the brain, right?
Right.
This technology could have implications for how we understand and interact with all sorts of biological systems.
Absolutely. Imagine being able to simulate the entire human immune system,
Right.
or the intricate ecosystem of a rainforest,
Wow.
or even the evolution of a species over millions of years. It could revolutionize fields like medicine, agriculture, and environmental conservation.
The possibilities are truly mind-boggling. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about something a little closer to our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars.
Yeah,
We've all heard about the potential of autonomous vehicles,
right.
but they still face significant challenges, particularly when it comes to safety and reliability.
Yes, and those challenges often boil down to processing power.
Okay.
Self-driving cars rely on sensors like cameras, lidar, and radar
Right.
to perceive their surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
And those sensors generate a tremendous amount of data
Yeah.
that needs to be analyzed in real time
Right.
to make safe driving decisions.
So it's not just about the sensors themselves, it's about the brain behind the wheel,
Yes.
so to speak, that can process all that information quickly and accurately.
Precisely. And that's where photonic computing could be a game changer.
Okay.
Imagine a self-driving car equipped with a photonic chip
Right.
that can analyze sensor data in a fraction of the time it takes for a traditional computer. We're talking about potentially eliminating the latency that can lead to accidents,
Right.
making these vehicles much safer and more reliable.
So it's not just about faster processing, it's about making those split-second decisions that are often the difference between a safe journey and a potential disaster.
Exactly. And it's not just about reaction time.
Okay.
A photonic chip could also help self-driving cars better understand their surroundings,
Right.
filtering out noise and interference from sensor data to provide a clearer and more accurate picture of the road ahead.
So it's like giving the car a sharper set of eyes,
Yes.
allowing it to better distinguish between objects, pedestrians, and other vehicles,
Yeah.
even in challenging conditions like rain or fog.
Precisely. And with that level of perception, we could see a dramatic improvement in the safety and efficiency of autonomous vehicles.
Right.
It could be the key to unlocking the true potential of self-driving cars and transforming the way we think about transportation.
It's an exciting prospect, but before we get too carried away,
Okay.
let's shift gears again and talk about something a little more abstract.
Sure.
The potential societal impact of this technology.
Yeah.
It's clear that photonic computing could revolutionize many industries, but what about its impact on our lives as individuals?
It's an important question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we need to think carefully about.
Right.
As with any powerful new technology, there are potential downsides that we need to be aware of.
For example.
Well, one concern is the potential for job displacement. If photonic computing makes it possible to automate tasks that were previously done by humans, it could lead to significant job losses in certain sectors.
That's a valid concern. We've already seen this happen with automation in manufacturing and other industries. But isn't it also possible that this technology could create new jobs,
Oh, absolutely.
perhaps in fields that we haven't even imagined yet?
Absolutely. And it's crucial that we focus on preparing the workforce for this shift.
Right.
We need to invest in education and training programs that equip people with the skills they need to thrive in a world where photonic computing is increasingly prevalent.
So we're talking about prioritizing STEM education,
Yes.
fostering creativity and critical thinking skills,
Yeah.
and helping people adapt to the changing demands of the job market.
Exactly. And it's not just about job displacement.
Right.
We also need to think about the broader societal implications of a world where information can be processed at the speed of light.
That's a fascinating thought.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of changes might we see in how we communicate,
Yeah.
how we access information,
Right.
how we form relationships,
Uh-huh.
even how we define ourselves as human beings?
Those are questions that philosophers and social scientists are already grappling with.
Right.
But it's clear that photonic computing has the potential to reshape our society in profound ways.
It's both exhilarating and a little unnerving to contemplate.
What is?
But let's shift our focus back to the technology itself.
Okay.
We've discussed the potential applications, the challenges, and the broader societal implications. But what about the economics of this technology? Is it feasible to scale up production and make it commercially viable?
That's a key question, and it's one that's being addressed by researchers and entrepreneurs around the world.
So what are the key factors to consider when we talk about the economics of photonic computing?
Well, one crucial factor is the cost of manufacturing.
Okay.
Currently, photonic chips are more expensive to produce than traditional silicon chips.
Why is that?
It comes down to a couple of factors.
Okay.
First, photonic chips often require specialized materials that are more expensive than silicon.
Right. Silicon is abundant and well understood.
Yep.
We've been working with it for decades.
Exactly. And second, the manufacturing processes for photonic chips are more complex and require specialized equipment,
Right.
which adds to the cost.
So there's a higher barrier to entry in terms of both materials and manufacturing.
There is.
But isn't it likely that those costs will come down as production scales up and the technology matures?
Absolutely. We've seen this happen with other technologies like solar panels and electric vehicles.
Right.
As demand grows and manufacturing processes become more efficient,
Right.
the price typically drops.
So it's a matter of time before photonic chips become more affordable and accessible.
It seems likely. And there's another factor that could accelerate that process.
Okay.
Government investment.
Right. Governments around the world are increasingly recognizing the strategic importance of investing in emerging technologies.
Exactly. And photonic computing is seen as a key technology for driving economic growth, national security, and scientific advancement.
So we're seeing government funding going into research and development,
Yes.
as well as initiatives to support the growth of the photonic computing industry.
We are, and that government support can be crucial for overcoming those early hurdles and making this technology more commercially viable.
Okay, so we have the potential for cost reductions through scaling and government investment.
Right.
But is there a market for this technology? Are there enough customers out there who are willing to pay for the benefits of photonic computing?
That's a crucial question, and the answer seems to be a resounding yes.
Yeah.
As we've discussed, the potential applications for photonic computing are vast and diverse.
Right. We're talking about everything from self-driving cars and super-fast internet to drug discovery and climate modeling.
Yes.
It seems like almost every industry could benefit from this technology.
Exactly. And as those applications become more widely adopted, the demand for photonic chips is likely to grow exponentially.
So we have a confluence of factors here.
Yes.
Decreasing manufacturing costs, increasing government investment, and a growing market demand. It sounds like a recipe for a technological revolution.
It does. Of course, there are always challenges and uncertainties in any emerging technology.
Right.
But the potential of photonic computing is undeniable.
I'm convinced. But before we declare photonic computing the technology of the future, there's one more aspect we need to consider.
Okay.
The geopolitical implications.
Yes. The global competition to dominate this technology.
Right.
It's a factor that we can't ignore.
Just like we saw a race to develop nuclear weapons in the 20th century.
Yeah.
We're now seeing a similar race to dominate emerging technologies like AI and quantum computing.
Exactly. And photonic computing is part of that race.
Right.
Countries like the United States, China, and the European Union are all investing heavily in research and development, aiming to become leaders in this field.
So it's a battle for technological supremacy.
It is. And the stakes are high.
Yeah.
The country that dominates photonic computing could have a significant advantage in areas like economic growth, national security, and scientific advancement.
It's a new kind of arms race, but instead of weapons, we're talking about chips and algorithms.
Exactly. And it's not just about national competition either.
Right.
There are also questions about how this technology will be used and who will benefit from it.
Right. We need to ensure that the development and deployment of photonic computing is ethical, responsible, and benefits all of humanity,
right?
Not just a select few.
Absolutely. It's crucial that we have open and inclusive discussions about the potential impact of this technology and work together to shape a future where it's used for good.
Well said. It's a reminder that technological progress should go hand in hand with social responsibility.
It should.
But before we get too deep into the ethical and geopolitical weeds, let's shift gears one last time and talk about a specific application of photonic computing that's particularly relevant to our listeners' interests.
Okay, what application did you have in mind?
Well, based on the source material you provided, it seems our listeners particularly interested in the potential of photonic computing to revolutionize climate modeling.
Ah, yes. That's an area where this technology could have a profound impact.
Right. Climate change is arguably the most pressing challenge facing humanity.
It is.
And we need accurate models to predict its effects and develop solutions.
We do.
But those models are incredibly complex and computationally demanding,
They are.
even for our most powerful supercomputers.
Exactly. They need to take into account countless variables.
Right.
Atmospheric conditions, ocean currents, ice melt, human activity, and simulate how they interact over long periods.
Right.
It's a monumental task.
And it can take weeks or even months to run those climate models.
It can.
Which limits our ability to understand and respond to this urgent crisis.
Precisely. And that's where photonic computing comes in.
Okay.
The speed and efficiency of photonic chips could potentially allow us to run those climate models much faster.
Yeah.
Perhaps even in real time.
Imagine being able to see the potential consequences of our actions on the climate.
Right.
Decades into the future. It could be like having a crystal ball that shows us the different paths we could take, the risks we face,
Yes.
and the choices we need to make.
It's a powerful tool for understanding and addressing the climate crisis.
It is.
And it's not just about prediction either.
Right.
Photonic computing could also help us develop new technologies to mitigate climate change, like more efficient renewable energy systems or innovative carbon capture technologies.
It's an exciting prospect.
Okay.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
While photonic computing has enormous potential,
It does.
it's still a relatively young technology. There are challenges to overcome, both technical and societal.
Absolutely. But the progress we've seen in recent years is remarkable.
It is.
And with continued investment and collaboration,
Right.
I'm confident that photonic computing will play a transformative role in shaping the future.
Well, on that note of cautious optimism, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the inner workings of the Tai Chi chip, the potential applications of photonic computing,
Yeah.
the challenges and opportunities, and the broader economic, geopolitical, and societal implications.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. And I hope our listener feels equipped to explore this fascinating field further.
Me too. But before we sign off, I think there's one more area we should touch on, one that's particularly relevant to the listener's interest in AI, the potential impact of photonic computing on the development of artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
Ah, yes, the quest to create AI that's as capable as humans in a wide range of tasks.
Exactly.
It's a topic that sparks both excitement and apprehension.
It does.
And one of the major bottlenecks in AGI development is the sheer computational power required to train these incredibly complex AI models.
Right. We're talking about models with billions,
Right.
perhaps even trillions of parameters
Yeah.
that need to be trained on massive data sets.
Wow.
It's a process that can take months or even years with our current computing capabilities.
And that's where photonic computing could be a game changer.
It could.
Imagine being able to train those massive AI models in a matter of minutes or even seconds.
It's a mind-boggling thought.
Yeah.
It could accelerate the development of AGI exponentially.
It could. We might see AI systems that are capable of solving problems that are currently beyond human comprehension.
Yeah.
Making breakthroughs in fields like medicine, engineering, and even art.
It's a prospect that raises both exciting possibilities and ethical challenges.
Right.
We need to think carefully about how we develop and control such powerful technologies, ensuring that they're aligned with human values and used for the benefit of humanity.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that technological progress should always be guided by wisdom and a sense of responsibility.
It should.
But before we delve too deeply into the philosophical implications of AGI, I think it's time to wrap up this segment of our deep dive.
I agree. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And our listener has plenty to ponder.
It's fascinating to consider how this technology might accelerate our progress towards AGI. But I think it's time to bring this deep dive to a close.
Yeah, it really has.
We've covered a lot of ground, exploring the science behind photonic computing, the potential applications, and even delving into, the broader economic and societal implications.
Right. We've seen how this technology could revolutionize everything.
It really could.
From self-driving cars and scientific research to climate modeling and even the development of artificial general intelligence.
And we've discussed the challenges that still lie ahead.
Right.
From miniaturization and integration to the ethical considerations of such powerful technology.
Yeah, for sure. What stands out to you as the most significant takeaway from all of this?
I think what's truly remarkable is that we're witnessing this convergence of several key trends. The exponential growth of AI, the limitations of traditional electronics, and the incredible advancements in photonics.
Right. It's like all these different threads are coming together to weave this new tapestry of technological possibilities.
And what's particularly exciting is that we're still in the early stages of this revolution.
Oh, absolutely.
The Tai Chi Chip is a groundbreaking achievement.
Yeah.
But it's just a glimpse of what's to come.
For sure. It's like we're standing at the edge of a vast uncharted territory. And the potential for discovery and innovation is almost limitless.
And it's not just about the technology itself, right?
Though it's not.
It's about how we choose to use it.
Yeah.
How we navigate the ethical challenges, how we ensure that its benefits are shared widely.
It's a call to action, really, for all of us, scientists, engineers, policymakers, and citizens alike, to engage in these thoughtful discussions.
Wow.
And to really try to shape the future of this technology in a way that benefits humanity.
Well said. And to our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity.
Absolutely.
And inspired you to explore the fascinating world of photonic computing further.
We encourage you to delve into the source material we've discussed.
Yeah.
Ask questions and continue learning.
Right. The future is literally bright.
It is.
And it's up to all of us to illuminate the path ahead.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We're excited to see what the future holds for photonic computing and for all of us.
Thanks for listening.